Now, we're not talking about a duck that goes quack, quack. We're talking about a duck that takes you on a tour of the scenic city by land and water.
It is a fun job, and it's a lot of fun for me because you're dealing with different people every trip. It's just a different crowd. I can do the same thing every trip, but it's a different crowd, so it's all brand new to them. And we'll leave from downtown, and we'll drive through the streets of town towards the aquarium, maybe 10 minutes, get to the boat ramp, and for the people, really going down the boat ramp is probably the biggest thrill. It's because you're driving a truck into the water. In the river for 45, 50 minutes. We go up by McClellan Island, and it's all narrated. We talk about things, and it's just fun. And like I said, for me, every trip is different because it's different people.
It's the only real downtown tour of Chattanooga that we go through the streets of Chattanooga. We do some history of Chattanooga. We do some ecology of the river. We do some river history, Civil War history, and things like that. But it's the fact that these were used in D-Day. People don't really, a lot of people know that they were built for D-Day. That's what they were for, and they were specifically used for D-Day. In fact, they only intended to use them for 3 months.
They built them for 3 months?
They built them to use them for 3 months. They figured it would take 3 months to capture a seaport. Once they had a seaport, they could run a ship into and unload deuce and a halves, which is what this is. It's a deuce and a half. It's a floating deuce and a half. So once they got the deuce and a halves on dry land, they didn't need the ducks anymore. So they were just built for the very beginning of the war for the beach invasions.
Holy cow, that just seems bizarre. But
yeah, everybody knows the Higgins boats. You know, the Higgins boats are the ones that come in and the door comes down and the guys run out. Yeah. Well, you couldn't get a box of bullets to run out. So they wanted a truck that floated, and this was it. The duck was it. So they just used them for the D-Day invasion.
Do you know how many there may be running around somewhere in this world?
They built 20,000 of them.
Oh, okay.
Now, 20,000 sounds like a lot, but they built 600,000 deuce and a halves for World War II. So it really wasn't very many. It was just for the beach invasions. And out of that 20,000, I would say there's probably 300 ducks in the U.S. that are running you can drive on, and this is one of the 300.
Surprisingly to us, that some people don't realize that we go in the river. They'll come, buy tickets for the duck ride, and then they kind of like, what are you about to do? And we splash. And they duck tours across the nation, and so most tourists actually might not have ever been on a duck, but they have seen them, the Boston ducks, Branson, Missouri, so they know what a duck is. They might not have ever done it. The history of the duck and how the military used it in the 40s, a lot of people don't know that, and that's where they think it's tourism. That's all it is. Yeah. They don't know the military history of it.
Some people are surprised, and that's my favorite, is because they don't know we're going into the water. They think it's just a tour through town, and then when we get up on the ramp, and it's a pretty steep ramp, you saw that going in, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, are we going in the water? Yeah, we're going in the water. Does this thing float? Yeah, it floats.
Now we got 4 tires spinning and the car. As we drive up the boat ramp, I'll be going really slow. I don't have a choice. Stay in your seat.
It's an interesting ride, to say the least, especially when you head down into the river. And they'll also give sometimes 2 or 3 people a little chance to do the steering while they're out there in the water. So you might want to talk to them about that. They're located at Corner Market and 5th Street 7 days a week. There's the phone number and website and everything that you need. You can just check us out at newschannel9.com and you'll find out. Great fun.